Well, Elman here again, starting on chapter 13 of Genesis here, after the Pharaoh kicked him out of Egypt. And so verse 1 starts, and Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. So he was a fairly rich person. And he went on his journey from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning between Bethel and Hai, unto the place of the altar which had made there at the first, and there Abram called on the name of the Lord. And Lot also went with Abram, and had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanites and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdsmen and thy herdsmen, for we are brethren. So there was a little problem there between the herdsmen of the two different families, Lot's and Abram's, and the herdsmen got kind of uppity, probably fighting amongst each other and arguing. And so Abram, he being a pretty smart guy and rich, he said, well, hey, let's not fight, we're brothers, so let's just see what we can do to fix that. Verse 9 says, Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right, or if they depart to the right, then I'll go to the left. And Lot lifted his eyes up and beheld all the plains of the Jordan, that was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Even the garden of the Lord, like the land in Egypt, has come unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plains of the Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said to Abram, after Lot was separated from him, Lift up now thine eyes, and look from this place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all of this land which thou seest, to thee I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise, walk therefore in the land, and in the length of the land and the breadth of it, I will give it unto thee. And Abram removed his tent, and came to dwell in the plains of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an ark unto the Lord. And that is all chapter, 12? Yeah, chapter 13. So let's sneak off a little bit into chapter 14 here. Chapter 14, verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, the king of Shinar, and Arok, the king of Eleazar, Chedorlaomer, the king of Elam, and Tidal, king of the nations, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and Birsha, king of Gomorrah. Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemember, king of Zeboim, I don't know, and the king of Bela, which is Zor. All of these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. 12 years after they served Chedorlaomer, or whatever it says, and in the 13th year they rebelled, and the 14th year came Chedorlaomer and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaims and Ashtaroth, Caranim, and the Zuzims, and Ham, and the Emims, and Sheva, Kiriathaim, however you say it. I can't even pronounce these words. They're terrible. And the Horites in their Mount Seir, and Elfran, which is by the wilderness. They returned and came to Enmisbet, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country in the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in the Hazazon Tamar, or Taman, I don't know. I can't pronounce these words. I kind of do halfway, but I think I can. But they're bad. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, the same as Zor, and they joined battle with them in the vale of Siddim. And with Chedorlaomer, the king of Elam, and the title kings of the nations, and Amphro, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Eleazar, and the 4 kings with 5. And the vale of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took with them all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and their victuals, and went their way. Then they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, with his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped, and told Abram the Hebrides, for he dwelt in the plains of Mamre, and Amorite, brother of Ashcot, the brother of Aaron, and these were the confederates with Abram. And I am getting so confused. And when Abram heard that his brother had taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the women also, and the people. So we're getting into a lot of stuff here. See about maybe continuing that. I stopped at chapter 16. So when we come back, we'll start on chapter 7. Verse 16, not chapter. And we'll start in verse 17 when I get back. Okay? So for now, this is Elman saying bye. Subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, whatever. Share it if you could. And catch you the next time. Drop my mouse.